Welcome back to another episode of CBSI's new comic book day pull list. This is my favorite five. This week is, to me, there's not any big giant book. There's a huge book coming out that a lot of Marvel fanboys and Null fanboys and Venom fanboys have been going crazy for. King in Black. It finally comes out this week. Last week we had the Symbiote Spider-Man sort of issue that came out. That was a tie-in, but this is the first issue of the series. But I'm betting every store bought has ordered hundreds of copies of it, so the odds of finding one that's going to just take off first day maybe, but probably in 2 weeks they're all going to be under ratio if there are. But it is King in Black. It is some great covers there. You pick your favorite cover and you start go with it. There's a Momoko that's just regular cover. The one for 25, Boss Logic, is the one I'm hearing a little bit about. No, sorry, not Boss Logic. Superlog is the one I'm hearing the most about. But it's one for 25 that's probably going to be over ordered. So I wouldn't go too crazy. If you can get it for 10 to 15, I'd go for it. But it's probably going to be selling for $40 initially. But I can see it coming down. Unless some big, huge thing happens in this first issue. But we know Cates, and he likes to drag his things out as long as possible to keep you guys reading. So that's King in Black. That's number 5 for this week. Next one is MODOK Head Games. I feel like I'm the only person that's higher on MODOK's, the TV show, than any. I don't hear anyone talking about it. It's claymation sort of looking thing, toy. It looks like it could be fun, sort of like the Robot Chicken sort of feel to it. But the reason this comic interests me, it's being written by the showrunners of the show. So I would think there'd be characters that are in the show that are in the comic, but I don't know that for a fact. MODOK, I did a little article about a while back on him, and it's one of those. He has a bunch of weird comics where there's just one-offs where he goes back home and the show looks like he's at home. You get to see him interacting with his family. And AIM is being run from out of his living room. So it could be an interesting show. It could be an interesting comic. So I'm definitely going to try to check this out. That there are I don't think there's any variants for it, but there's like 3 covers, but I don't think there's any variants, ratio variants for it. Next one we're going to talk about is The Union. This is sort of running from Empire into the King in Black. It's sort of tied into both, I believe. But it has British superheroes. Union Jack sort of heads it up. He's been around for a while. But then there's 4 other heroes that I don't think they've been around. Kelpie, Snakes, Britannia, and one other one I can't remember the name right now. But they're also a part of the Union team. It's going to be dealing with certain things. Whether or not anything really comes out of it, but anytime you can get a brand new team creation, it's worth checking out. There's a 1 for 25 cover that's gorgeous. It has Britannia. Looks like she's going to be the one featured a lot. So Paul Grist does this cover, and has word bubbles, but you get the names. They're actually talking about each of the characters and talking how the characters are sort of silly. So it's sort of a fun cover. I don't know how many stores would have ordered it, so it might be a little bit harder to find, but it's not a ratio cover. So that's always tricky when you're talking about 6 different covers out there, whether or not these non-ratios are going to be worth checking out. But this one does have the names of the characters, so that could be a plus side to check this one out. Next one is Deceased number 6. It's the movie. They've been doing these movie homages. This one is the homage to Shazam, a recent movie. But it's a Ben Oliver cover, but more importantly, it's been talked about for months because of the bubblegum chewing and everything like that. So it's Deceased number 6 by Ben Oliver. And then finally, of course, you have the Fantastic Four Road Trip. Del Mundo is just gorgeous cover. This is the one I want. So.